down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Well, hello. You tuned in to the Savvy Radio Show. Bang, bang. It's been forever and a day. And life has changed. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You know this. The COVID virus, life, political drama, fake news, inflation, hyperinflation, fiat money, all that stuff has altered people's view. And mine is included. I have been just enjoying life, if you can, when people are actually getting sick and not doing well in society. Well, during this process, I acquired a very large asset, not large in size, but in construction. And my goal was to, I was on fire a couple of months ago. I'm going to do this rehab. It's a minimum $40,000 rehab. And I'm going to teach a class on it. And I'm going to meet everybody over there. And I'm going to do a timeline. I'm going to be organized. We're going to have dude, what in the world was I thinking? I haven't done a rehab in so long. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, you tuned in to what? The Savvy Radio Show. And I dropped the ball again. I put it on Facebook twice. And I'm like, hey, who has interest? And I'm going to probably maybe do a Zoom call. It's crazy that when you grow in things and when you have to really realize what's important to you and what takes all your energy, is it really worth it? And so I know I've been debating this since I've conception of as an investor. Don't do rehab. Don't do flips, because you put all this energy, all this time finding the deal, and then you got to start all over the ball. Well, I realize that now, starting this rehab, and I put it on Facebook and I invited people to come along with me. So right now, this is the first episode that I'm going to talk about this rehab job. If you do have interest, I may do some Zoom calls. I know my man, Lee, you're bomb, man. You have been faithful. Every time I even mention the rehab, you're messaging me, and I appreciate that. Lee Haskell, look that cat up. Obviously, he's motivated. And I like motivated people, and you should hang around motivated people. I was listening to Jim Rohn the other day, and it was like, you got to hang around people that says it could be done. And I was like, man, that's true. He's like, when you're talking to somebody and they're like, let's do it right now. Let's set a goals list. Let's write out a plan. Man, that's the kind of people you want to hang around. And I realized I opened this up to the open market. And then I don't know if the most random people are going to come to this rehab, and it could just be a bunch of wasted time, a cluster of random people stepping on each other. And so I'm going to be open about this rehab. So far, it is not going as well as I anticipated. Thank God I got a good team assembled. And so I'm just going to kind of go get you up to speed on where I'm at with this rehab. How's it going? Learn from my mistakes already. My general manager that's running this, basically project managing this situation for me, she's like, if you would have known what we've discovered already, you probably wouldn't have bought this crib. And I'm like, don't tell me that, but you just don't know what I'm thinking at the time. So I hope that I encourage you. Hopefully I uncover something that you have maybe not have thought about in your world of rehab, real estate investing. I know this is the most bizarre podcast, but I got to do a podcast. I got to give back, and I got to keep you updated on this rehab. Anyway, so I got this property. It's in this neighborhood called Gatewood. It's a kind of a prestigious neighborhood. It's a historic neighborhood. I don't know the details. I can get the details on the square footage, but it's roughly 1,000 square foot. It is 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and has been boarded up for a long time. I got fortunate. I got an REO on this situation, and someone foreclosed, couldn't handle this deal. And I can see why they couldn't handle this deal, because I don't even know 40,000 is going to make it. But I'm going to try, because, Someone asked me, what do you do when you get knocked down? You get back up, baby. You got to keep rolling no matter what. Sometimes you pull the trigger. I talked to some young investors and they make decisions and they don't go as well and they lose $1,000 and you don't have the money. What do? You can't give up. You got to figure out how to make another 1,000. You got to figure out how to make more money. You got to figure out how to keep rolling. So the great thing is, and another scenario is like, I'm trying to be semi-retired and I'm trying to just be not micromanage everybody and let people do what they do best. And if you've been following me on the podcast for several years, one of my great homies that I work with, he's like, Steven, I've been listening and I've been following what you're saying. Hire professionals. Stop dealing with ghetto people. It's going to cost you the same amount of money. I know. And I'm taking my own advice. And so when I started this project, I was like, I'm going to invite everybody in it. It's going to be a cluster. And then I just let the project manager, you could call it a GC. I call her my general manager, and she's just running the show, and I'm running on the side. And then I'm going to commentary on it. Of course, I'm working on it, meaning questions and answers and funding and direction. And I already caught a snag. And so we'll just get into it. First of all, I acquired the property, I believe, on a Friday. And that day, we try to get OG&E to turn on electricity. Bam, already in your face. Electricity hasn't been turned on in over 3 years, maybe longer. There's exposed wires on the roof. The electrician has to be repaired. So this is my general manager emailing me this. So then we dig a little bit deeper. Property manager went over there and said the OG&E gas has not been turned on in 5 years. Well, this is pretty normal. When you get a $140,000 deal, it's roughly worth about $140,000, $160,000. I know it's weird on a 2-bedroom. We may bust it out and make it a 3rd bed, 2-bath. But right now, we're still just trying to get the bones in order. So we're going to work with what it is. It's a historic home, small, bungalow, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, real wide open floor plan. Millennials are going to buy this deal, or we're going to rent it out to a millennial because it's going to be pimping. But that's what it is. It's only a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. The gas hasn't been turned in 5 years. So first decision right there, boom, forget the gas because you don't want to be dealing with gas. We went with total electric. So there goes that. And the water could be turned on in May so I can start doing trash. Here's the interesting thing. Now, this is in a prestigious neighborhood, a historic neighborhood, and everybody in that effing neighborhood is on my back already. Like, seriously, I'm not joking. As soon as I close, the next day, as soon as it hit the county assessor, I get a notice about rodents. I'm not joking. I'm like, a week later, I close this mother, and there's a freaking letter from the city saying there is problems with rodents on your property. I'm like, what the? I don't even know. I just own the property. How does that even happen? Because of the neighbors. I'm just telling you. That's another thing you need to think about, you little flippers. The neighbors could jack up your deal, and they're riding us like donkeys, the neighbors. Now, I understand. The property manager has been over there a couple times. My general manager has been over there a couple times, and she said every time they go on the property, the neighbor across the street pops out and has a 30-minute conversation. Wow. So this is another reason why I did not want to have the arsenal of education on this property. I'm sorry. Right now, I'm on it every Monday. I'm working on this project, so I might be doing a podcast every Monday on this. And I'm going to start doing photos pretty soon. My staff is going to start going there. And we've already started hiring people. So now the main goal on your first is get a scope of work. Where I failed is I should have had a real deal inspector probably before I closed. And damn, I cut a freaking corner again, $300. And now I'm opening up all kinds of worms in my face. It is not because of the rodent. I mean, come on, y'all. Somebody called the action number and said, what would they see? Like a bear outside? No, they probably saw some kind of possum, or I don't know, but we sent somebody over there. Something clawed into the roof, probably a squirrel. Wow, neighborhood, get ready for the VanCauwenberghs because we coming in hot. The second thing we did, the fourth thing, so we tried to turn on electricity, no go. Tried to turn on the gas, no go. We turned on the water, got it on. Now we change the locks. So there's the process. Now we'll move it down the line. Then we got the water turned on. And what's the next thing you need to do? You call a plumber. Plumber came over there, already juiced up a G. He went in cleaned out all the lines, took all the cameras down the lines. I'm doing this big time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not cutting any corners on this deal, so I should have called all these people before. That's the only thing that I've done. Not the only, but that's one of the things that I failed on thus far. He went out there, spent a G already, just screwing around. I'm telling you, I'm gonna take this one to the bank. And he connected the main sewer line. He already cut it out, put in a clean out, and then did some assessing, did some installation. Already getting it plumbed. I have a bid out for roof and gutters. I got a bid out for HVAC. We're putting in brand new HVAC in this mug. So far, I mean, we're rolling really fast. This is another reason why I didn't want to make this a spectacle of having a bunch of people show up there every day or every week. Sorry, ladies and gents. I was motivated. I don't know where I went wrong, but I did fail. And then we sent the peer guy over there, foundation dude. And the interesting thing, he didn't give us the best news on the foundation. He didn't say it needed piers, but he said that your foundation's cracked and and then he goes into all this other scenario that there needs to be a certain depth between the ground and the subfloor. And I was like, whoa, pump your brakes, homie. Now, this is not me. This is all secondhand knowledge from the general manager that's running the show. I was like, what? Man, this is a historic home. This is not standard construction. So now I deployed my general manager. I was like, listen, you need to find out about this. So that led into a structural engineer. So I got a dude rolling over there Thursday for $350 to tell me how bad my foundation is. Then we've already got a call in. We're going to tear out one wall. The whole side, I need to get pictures of this mess, but the whole back of the house is bricks are falling off. So I got a brick mason heading over there. And so then after I got to, this has been, I've only met with the general manager twice on this project. Once I was told her my idea that I was going to open it and like make this a lesson, make this a school, making this a project, whatever you want to call it. She's like, I don't know if that's a good idea. I was like, yeah, I don't know. So then I met with today, and this is where the drama. So then this drama comes up. Oh man. So then I was like, okay, pumpity pump the freaking brakes. We're going to go dial all the way back. We've already dropped like $1,500. We're going to go back and hire a real inspector. My OG guy first of all, I hired this guy because he's got a RC robot with a camera on it, and he goes all the way up and down in the crawl spaces and gets every nick and cranny on camera. I'm like, that's my dude. He's going to bust out there Thursday. So Thursday morning, I got the inspector coming. Thursday afternoon, I got a structural engineer. And that's where I'm at so far, ladies and gentlemen. I've contacted a rehab contractor, interior paint, exterior paint guy, got my window guy, got my flooring laborer, and then I got landscaping. And then I had to drop a couple $100 or some probably will on exterminators. So that's where I'm at on this project. We got to come up with a name for it, but that's the name. That's the deal. If you have any questions, what am I thinking? My head's wrapped around this. Every Monday morning, I'm going to meet on this, and then I'm going to try to do a podcast on this project. And I know this is all jumbled. I just turned on the microphone and just started going to town. But if I forgot something, if you need some details, I will divulge those. I can't think of those right now. I don't know what you want to learn. I don't know what you need to learn. I can tell you right now, rule number 1, get a real inspector over there prior, get all your trades over there prior, and get a general idea. I have a $40,000 budget, so I'm good. I hope I'm good, but I'm already opening up a can of worms. Anyway, you tuned in to the Savvy Radio Show, Real Estate Investing, Entrepreneur Hustle. This is what we do each and every day, trying to make it work. If you like what you hear, we got a ton of episodes. I interview people, got some hot people coming in pretty soon. Go to savvyinvestors.com, click on podcast, and go to work. That's Savvy Investors. We got 600 of them out there. Appreciate you. You're faithful. And the reason why I even popped this podcast today is because I talked to this super OG investor this morning. I mean, this dude is killing it. And, I'm just telling him this is what I'm doing. These are the moves that I'm making. I'm getting into different industries, trying to be an investor, real estate, and it is not working out the way I want it to be. And he's like, Steven, I really appreciate your podcast and that you're giving back. And I was like, man, sometimes I want to give up. Sometimes I don't want to do the podcast. Sometimes I don't want to do Landlord Lunch. But I'm doing it for you, for the ladies and gentlemen, the new rookies, the people out there that need to be financially free. And I hope that you really dig in and fight the good fight. Take notes, listen over and over, grow, get a mentor, get accountability partner, and be an investor and go buy assets. I'm doing this for you.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.